Hey, thanks for joining us on this Thursday afternoon. I'm meteorologist Taylor Cox, and we are talking about storms across the Dakotas, and then we'll get you an update on your tropics today as well. But while we get people into this live forecast, and hey, don't forget to share this on your Facebook feeds as well. While people are jumping in, I want to tell you about some of our events that we have over the next few days. Win the Storm happening at the end of this month. This is a very popular trade show. If you guys are there, come say hi to Hail Trace. You can get the link to see us in the captions right now in the comments section. But hey, if you have not signed up for Win the Storm yet, use our code HailTrace. I think it's a pretty significant code, so it's definitely one that you don't want to miss. Now, if you're also, or if your team is at the Not So Many trade show today, also stop by our booth and say hi. And don't forget to post your pictures in our event page as well. Come by and say hi to us. This again is happening today in Dallas, from 10 o'clock to 2 o'clock, so we've got another hour and a half left on this trade show. Take a picture with us and post it in our events section. That is also found in the comments. Alrighty, we've got a few people on this afternoon, so let's go ahead and get started with your forecast today. Brace yourselves. Large hail coming for North and South Dakota this afternoon. Tornadoes are also likely in this area, and we could see strong winds greater than 75 miles an hour. So stronger than 75 miles an hour. We are talking about a potential derecho today. If you don't know what that is, we'll talk about what exactly that means here in just a few minutes. Now, all hazards are on the table, so we're not only talking about that hail risk for today, but also that tornado and high wind risk. So we'll get into that, and then we'll also talk about your tropical update. Let's see, what did we see yesterday? Did we see anything yesterday? Not really. We had about 4 hailstone reports yesterday. It was not too terribly impressive. Maybe we got up to 5. One of those actually being ping pong ball size hail up in Wyoming. Other than that, it was a pretty quiet day yesterday. Now today, things start to really change. We have a much more active day on the forecast. So what we're watching for today is Montana, North Dakota, South Dakota, and Minnesota all in the path for strong to severe storms. We have a level 3 out of 5 risk for this afternoon and evening storms that could produce that large hail, strong wind speeds, and several tornadoes. Tomorrow, a very similar setup. Now, we've been talking about this for the last 36 hours, how we are expecting Friday to have a pretty significant setup. Again, just shifting a little bit to the east from where we see those storms today. And then moving farther down to the southeast on Saturday, we have another chance for strong to severe storms anywhere from New Mexico all the way up to Wisconsin. So that's an overview for the next 3 days. Let's get down to the right now. Right now, we have some overnight storms that have lingered into this morning and then into the afternoon that are moving into Missouri at the moment. Pretty quiet across the Northeast right now. We have ongoing showers and storms causing some flooding issues across the Carolinas and Georgia this afternoon as well. And then we've got a few early morning showers and storms that are slowly starting to dissipate up in North Dakota. Now, these storms are not going to mitigate or diminish your chances for storms later on this afternoon. I think we have a pretty good chance for strong to severe storms later on today, and we'll get into the timing here in just a few minutes. But I do want to show you right now, we've got a high pressure system setting up across Oklahoma and Texas. That's helping to keep us very warm in this area. You can feel it the second you step out the door. 95 for your current temperature in Denver, 91 in Oklahoma City. A little bit cooler out to the east where we have those ongoing showers and storms. Go up to the north, that's where we have severe weather for today. So let's get into your individual hazards here. We're talking about hail, high wind, and several tornadoes. Where are we expecting the largest hail? Here's your significant hail model. What we're watching for here is we're watching for those orange and those red colors that we really haven't seen in a while. We haven't gotten these dark orange hues on here in a while, so I am expecting some larger hail up in North Dakota, maybe even portions of South Dakota today. Now let's zoom in, and I want to tell you, don't be fooled by seeing some of those large hail signatures try to come down into Nebraska. Even with the potential for large hail in this area, you need storms for hail, right? I think it's going to stay pretty dry in Nebraska today. So no large hail in Nebraska. That will be mainly up in the north, in the Dakotas, mainly North Dakota, right? So let's see exactly what we're watching for today. We've got some small hail out in Montana, but really what we're watching for is this area highlighted here in red. That's where we're going to have the best chance for larger hail this afternoon. So we've got a high risk for places like Bismarck and then all the way down the highway here into the western side of North Dakota. How large for those hailstones? Over the size of 2 inches. So we're talking about tennis ball up to baseball size hail in this area. Also taking a look at your max forecasted hail size, tennis ball, baseball size hail. Yep, I think that's absolutely possible for today. Your tornado forecast for today, level 2. So we could have several rounds or several tornadoes in this area highlighted in yellow. Again, right, what's the bullseye today? North Dakota. Bismarck, Minot, Fargo, Grand Forks, all included in that tornado risk this afternoon. One thing that I think is pretty interesting about this storm hazard for today is that we could see some high winds from this. Now, we talked about a derecho earlier. I think that you guys are probably pretty familiar with that term. If you're not, basically what a derecho is, it's a line of storms that produce strong wind speeds for a long period of time, over a long area, a great distance. About 240 miles, I think, is what we need for this to become a derecho. Where are we watching for those strong winds at? Mainly through Bismarck and Fargo, through the late afternoon, evening, and into early overnight hours. How strong could those winds get up to? I think greater than 75 miles an hour, but I wouldn't go as far as 95. I would put that range between about 60 to 80 miles an hour. That's still pretty strong. That 70 to 80 mile per hour range could absolutely make an impact on anything that you have outdoors. So make sure that you have all of your trampolines pulled in closer to the house, put the cars in the garage, any flower pots or trash cans that are sitting outside, try to move those closer to the house as well and tie them down. Alrighty, let's talk about timeline here. We are watching for a few showers and storms across other portions of the U.S. We could go down into places like Illinois, all the way down to the southeast. You could get some rain in this area today. But of course, your eye automatically goes up to the north, right? That's where all of those very intimidating looking storms are. Now let's point out exactly what we're watching for today. Isolated storms to start. There's your large hail, a few tornadoes possible with this as well. We're starting with the first sprinkles right around 3 o'clock this afternoon. But we're going to see not only intensity, but also coverage increase as we head into the late afternoon and early evening hours. By the time we get to 5, 6 o'clock tonight, a lot more areas are going to be filled with these showers and storms. So what we're watching for here are, again, a few tornadoes, maybe some large hail in this area as well. As we go into the late night hours, the sun starts to go down, we are shifting from a hail and tornado threat and more of a high wind threat. Again, you can see that line of storms that starts to bow out with those strong wind speeds as we head into the late night hours tonight. And we may not only see just one round of this, but we may see a second round coming through the early morning hours. Now that brings us to Minnesota early tomorrow morning. So here's your 7 a.m. Radar outlook here. What we're watching for here is we're watching for strong storms through Minnesota through your early morning commute. So we can actually take a look at this see today, some strong winds out in Montana today. Alrighty, I'm going to move on to your flood risk here. So we could see some minor flooding up in North Dakota today. Not really too concerned about this. I am more concerned about that flood risk that just persists not only today, but also tomorrow across the southeast. Alrighty, and talk about flooding, let's talk about hurricanes as well. We'll bring you out to the Pacific first and then talk about the Atlantic. So here's a look at your Pacific hurricane update right now. We've got a tropical storm just off the coast of Mexico. Let's go to the west. There you go. We've got another tropical storm, Henriette, farther out to the west as well. Does this have a path towards Hawaii? It's going to get close, okay? It's going to get pretty close to Hawaii here. For the most part, this is a fish storm, so we'll have to watch this into the weekend and see if that makes it any closer to the islands. Other than that, Ivo is expected to be a fish storm, not impacting too many people in the Pacific. Now taking you to the Atlantic, we do have Invest 96L. What this means right here is that we've got an area of low pressure that has a pretty significant chance of turning into a tropical depression or a tropical storm as we head into the weekend. So late this weekend, early next week, we've got a 60% chance to see this turn into some sort of tropical cyclone. A little bit closer to the U.S. now, we have a 30% chance for this low pressure system. It's weak, it's disorganized right now. It's going to really have to get its act together if it wants to turn into anything significant. I really think that it's going to struggle in this area. Right now, it looks like this thing is moving away from the U.S., kind of hugging the East Coast or paralleling the East Coast as it's making its way to the north. Not too much of an impact for the U.S. here. However, we will have more information as we head into the weekend. By about Saturday, Sunday, I think that we will have a lot more information on the storm. I'm still not too impressed with this. I'm not too worried about this one right here. And our last named storm was Dexter. Dexter, a complete fish storm. It's a tropical depression now, has officially been downgraded from a tropical storm to a tropical depression. This low pressure system will continue to make its way away from the U.S., tracking to the north and east at about 17 miles an hour. So it's picked up a little bit of speed. About 24 hours ago, we were sitting at 12 miles an hour. Now it's picked up some speed as it moves again away from the U.S. By about Friday or Saturday, once again, this fish storm will weaken and not impact too many people out here either. So while we have a lot to talk about in terms of the tropics, it's not too impactful to the people in Mexico, in the U.S., and Hawaii either. Once we do have our next named storm, that will be Erin. We've got Fernand on the board as well, Gabrielle on the board. So we'll see how soon we can get to these storms. We still are expecting about 12 to 16 named storms for this year. I don't know exact numbers, but we are expecting to go down that list within the next few weeks. Now, just a reminder, we're still getting started on hurricane season, right? This time of year, this is whenever things just start ramping up. It's pretty common to be really, really quiet early on in the year, and then things ramp up this time of the year. So everyone's saying that, oh, this season was such a bust, or we haven't seen anything. I want you to say we haven't seen anything yet. Because we are expecting, and we've already seen that from our forecasts, right? Things have gotten a lot more active in the Atlantic, and we're going to continue to see that pattern as we head into the rest of August and September. All right, bringing you back to land now. We have a level 3 risk for storms today. Large hail, high winds, several tornadoes, all possible here. Very similar on Friday as we continue to track to the south and east. Saturday, lots of the U.S. expected to get rain. We'll continue to watch the severity of those storms as we head into the weekend. A little update on your storms for tomorrow. We talked about how storms are going to be starting in Minnesota early tomorrow morning. Still could be strong to severe, but that severity is going to weaken as we head into the overnight hours. This could bring a lot of rain, lightning and thunder to the northern half of the state by tomorrow afternoon, but then we'll see another round of storms starting once again in North Dakota and then moving to the east into Minnesota by tomorrow evening. And there's your forecast. You want to talk temperatures? It's hot. Yeah, you're not going to like these temperature graphics. I feel like I say that all the time, where temperatures are above average for this time of the year, anywhere from, well, most of the U.S. We've got the plains all the way out to the Four Corners. All temperatures are above 10 to 15 degrees above average. You go out to the northwest, hey, it's so much cooler. It's so much more comfortable out there. Out to the southeast, where we've gotten all of that rain, also a lot more comfortable. Unfortunately, it looks like it will not stay cooler for very long. Those places that have warm temperatures in the 90s today, you're going to stay pretty hot. Places that have cooler temperatures today, you're going to get hotter. Everyone, it looks like, has a really good chance to see temperatures above average for this time of the year through the middle of August. We're talking about the 12th through the 16th here. Temperatures are likely to go hotter than average. And unfortunately, you guys have heard me say this multiple times if you've seen the forecast over the last few weeks, we are trending a lot drier out in the west. Now this is bad because you get the warm temperatures and then you get a lack of rain. What does that mean? Fire risk, right? And we see that this time of the year. That's very, very common. However, that's not something that we ever want to see, right? And there's your forecast. Thanks for joining us today. I'm meteorologist Taylor Cox. We are posting on all forms of social media throughout the day to give you an update on your hail, tornado, wind risk. If we see anything significant this afternoon and evening, not only will our meteorologists be mapping it, but we'll also post about it on our social media pages. So to stay up to date with the most accurate and most up-to-date information, head over to our Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok pages, or give us a call at 855-334-4245. If you're interested in a hail, wind, or tornado map, give us a call there. Email us at info@hailtrace.com. Head over to our website for more info. And there's your forecast. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you back here for your noon forecast, same time, same place tomorrow.